now because it's relevant. So, a hero's son awakens. When primal dawn spread on the eastern sky, her fingers of pink light, Odysseus' true son stood up, drew on his tunic and his mantle, slung on a sword belt and a new-edged sword, tied his smooth feet into good rawhide sandals, and left his room, a god's brilliance upon him. He found the criers with clarion voices and told them to muster the unshorn Achaeans in full assembly. The call sang out, and the men came streaming in. And when they filled the assembly ground, he entered, spear in hand, with 2 quick hounds at heel. Athena lavished on him a sunlit grace that held the eye of the multitude. Old men made way for him as he took his father's chair. So right now we have Telemachus, which is Odysseus' son, calling the men together and about to talk to them. Athena, we have mentioned here, she is the goddess of beauty. She sees him and takes pity on him. Now, Lord Aegyptios, bent down and sage with years, opened the assembly. This man's son had served under the great Odysseus, gone in the decked ships with him to the wild horse country of Troy, a spearman, Antiphos by name. The ravenous Cyclops in the cave destroyed him last in his feast of men. 3 other sons the old man had, and one Eurymnomos went with the suitors too farmed for their father. But even so the old man pined, remembering the absent one, and a tear welled up as he spoke. Hear me, Ithacans, hear what I have to say. No meeting has been held here since our king Odysseus left port on the decked ships. Who finds occasion for assembly now? One of the young men, one of the older lot? Has he had word our fighters are returning, news to report if he got wind of it? Or is it something else touching the realm? This man has vigor, I should say, more power to him. Whatever he desires, may Zeus fulfill it. The old man's words delighted the son of Odysseus, who kept his chair no longer but stood up, eager to speak in the midst of all the men. The crier, Paesanor, master of debate, brought him the staff and placed it in his hand. Then the boy touched the old man's shoulder and said, No need to wonder any more, sir, who called this session. The distress is mine. As to our troops returning, I have no news to report if I got wind of it, nor have I public business to propose, only my need and the trouble of my house, the troubles. My distinguished father is lost, who ruled among you once, mild as a father. And there is now this greater evil still. My home and all I have are being ruined. Mother wanted no suitors, but like a pack they came, sons of the best men here, among them lads with no stomach for an introduction to Icarios, her father across the sea. He would require a wedding gift and give her to someone who found favor in her eyes. No, these men spend their days around our house, killing our beeves and sheep and fatted goats, carousing, soaking up our good dark wine, not caring what they do. They squander everything. We have no strong Odysseus to defend us. And as to putting up a fight ourselves, we'd only show our incompetence in arms. Expel them, yes, if I only had the power. The whole thing's out of hand, insufferable. My house is being plundered. Is this courtesy? Where is your indignation? Where is your shame? Think of the talk in the islands all around us, and fear the wrath of the gods, or they may turn and send you some devilry. So right now he's just saying the men have come to take his mother's hand in marriage because Odysseus has been gone for so many years. And rather than having a sense of courtesy and a sense of kindness towards the house and the people who own the house in which they are staying in, they are instead drinking up all their wine, not caring what they're doing. They're killing the sheep and eating their food. This is not hospitable at all. And that is, hospitality is one of the big traits that the Greeks and the Romans really cared for. Think of Vesta. She is the goddess of hospitality. So they are breaking basically every rule that they possibly could when it comes to hospitality. Friends, by Olympian Zeus and holy justice that holds men in assembly and sets them free, make an end of this. Let me lament in peace my private loss. Or did my father Odysseus ever do injury to the armed Achaeans? Is this your way of taking it out on me, giving free rein of these young men? I might better, see my treasure and livestock taken over by you all. Then, if you fed on them, I'd have some remedy. And when we met in public in the town, I'd press my claim. You might make restitution. This way you hurt me when my hands are tied. So he's standing up for his father and his mother when they are not present. Well, his mother is present, but his father is not. And in hot anger now he threw the staff to the ground. His eyes shone bright with tears. A wave of sympathy ran through the crowd, all hushed, and no one there had the audacity to answer harshly, except Antinous, who said, "What high and mighty talk, Telemachus! No holding you! You want to shame us and humiliate us, but you should know the suitors are not to blame. It is your own dear, uncomparably cunning mother. For 3 years now, and it will soon be 4, she has been breaking the hearts of the Achaeans, holding out hope to all and sending promises to each man privately, but thinking otherwise." So this man by the name of Antinous, he says that it's not the men's fault that all these young men are running rampant in the household. It is actually Telemachus' mother's fault. She is, instead of remarrying, which is the reason why these men are here, instead of remarrying someone and picking someone, rather she is supposedly sending promises to individuals and telling them that she would marry them, but when in fact she's not. She's just holding out for her husband. Here is an instance of her trickery. She had her great loom standing in the hall, and a fine warp of some vast fabric on it. We were attending her, and she said to us, "Young men, my suitors, now my lord is dead, let me finish my weaving before I marry, or else my thread will have been spun in vain. It is a shroud I leave for Lord Laertes, when cold death comes to lay him in his bier. The country wives would hold me in dishonor, if he, with all his fortune, lay unshrouded. We have men's hearts, she touched them, we agreed. So every day she wove on the great loom, but every night by torchlight she unwove it. And so for 3 years she deceived the Achaeans. But when the seasons brought the 4th around, one of her maids who knew the secret told us. She found her unraveling the splendid shroud. She had to finish then, though she hated it. Now here is the suitor's answer. You and all the Achaeans mark it well. Dismiss your mother from the house, or make her marry the man her father names and she prefers. Does she intend to keep us dangling forever? She may rely too long on Athena's gifts, talent in handicraft, and a clever mind. So cunning, history cannot show the like among the ringleted ladies of Achaia, Mycenae and her coronet, Alcmene, Tyro. Wits like Penelope's never were before, but this time, well, she made poor use of them. For here are suitors eating up your property. As long as she holds out a plan some god put in her mind, she makes a name for herself, but you can feel the loss it means to you. Our own affairs can wait. We'll never go anywhere else until she takes an Achaean to her liking. All right, we're going to stop there. So we are on the top of page 23, line 136. That is where we're going to stop.